is up, everyone? This is the first podcast. I'm here with a old friend, Maximus. Say hi.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing?
This is all
I'm
good.
very good. Yeah, good.
So how long have we known each other now for? It's gonna be.
Bro,
It's
like
coming up to
like
9 years now.
9 years, 9 years.
Mad.
Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy, but um. So basically, we met. When was it? Under five rugby. And we
Jeez.
known each other ever since. Um,
Tearing up the scene, under five rugbies, Roslyn Park.
oh my god, yeah, big up Roslyn Park. You gotta love it. But do you still play there, right? Or
Yeah. It's,
is
it's
it
pretty good.
is it?
It's a decent season this year. Everyone pretty much left.
Yeah, because
But we're rebuilding. The squad is coming
no,
together now.
yeah, no, you were telling me like they're coming back together. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I haven't played there in quite a while, but you
Yeah,
still
you pop your face
yeah.
up now and then. You turn up.
Yeah, but you're still playing 10, right? Or
Yeah.
is there anyone else who's like
No, it goes we have do you remember Tom? He plays
Tom?
9,
Yeah.
10. I'm 10. Luke 12.
Yeah.
Frank's still there. Frank's still
Does
there.
Frank
Big up Frank,
does
yeah.
Frank does Frank play scrum half or
Oh yeah, he sometimes plays scrum half,
yeah?
and 13.
Right.
And then you remember Ethan
Ethan, yeah.
and Joe, your old school friend.
Yeah.
It's
JD.
a decent back line, not gonna lie.
No, yeah, but I think like half of the forwards they're just new, aren't they?
Yeah, Grey Courts is loaded. There's also Zuko, who's like a national karate champion,
I know
and
him.
he's sick at rugby as well.
Yeah.
We've got you remember Ed Batchelor, Harry?
Ed Batch, yeah.
We're rebuilding. Like I remember before, I think under 11s we were sick. Our team was like undefeatable,
No, yeah.
apart from Chichester. But we don't talk about that. We
No,
don't
no,
talk
no.
about
We
that.
don't talk about that.
No,
But
but we're rebuilding. Squad's coming together. Tour
yeah,
to Italy before
exactly.
all the Corona.
Yeah, we mate that tour was going to be an absolute banger if we
Yeah.
actually went on it. But
Have you done any school tours with your rugby team?
not yet. I think it only starts at like in the first team. So,
Yeah.
but there might
I'd
be.
imagine your school team's pretty loaded as well.
Yeah, our school team's decent. We lost only 2 games to Harrow
Harrow.
and Haileybury.
Jeez.
But
Charlie Griffin must be doing bits at Harrow.
no, like you'd be surprised. It's they just work together well as a team, to be honest.
Yeah.
But,
Him and Johnny. And
yeah.
wait, who else?
We've got
Charlie Hope, yeah.
You know, Charlie's got like quite big now. He's like solid 5'8", 5'7", 5'8" now.
Jeez.
But
Yeah. He's fullback, isn't he?
he plays fullback. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still got that like you know how his legs just move. Like,
Yeah, he just glides on the pitch.
Yeah.
He's so elegant. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's true. But
You
yeah,
play Wellington this year?
we play Wellington. I mean, we played on like an under 10 pitch, so we won.
Oh,
but
right, yeah.
it was very small.
Yeah, I heard Wellington didn't have the best of starts.
No, they didn't.
No, they'll sort it out. They'll
Hopefully
get
they'll
their
sort it out.
they'll get their stuff
They'll
together.
they'll get their imports in, so it's all right.
Yeah,
Um,
they'll clutch up.
but
When you're playing, are there big crowds or is it just
I
parents?
think it kind of depends on the game because like when we played Wellington and Harrow, they were quite big
Yeah,
crowds.
was there a little bit of an atmosphere?
Yeah, there was actually. I know, especially
Yeah,
at the first team games. So I've watched a couple of them. There's definitely like a lot of people there.
yeah.
You can really feel like you're in the game.
Saw that boy. What's his name? Cassius Cleves for Wellington.
Actually,
He's a
oh yeah,
beast, bro. He's a
I
beast.
know the Wellington first team's just insane.
Yeah. And there's full-on crowds as well. Like, imagine that.
Exactly.
That'd be pretty
Um,
sick. I feel like schoolboy rugby is just so different in the terms of like people properly cheering you on, like actual like chants for each
exactly.
individual like player.
Exactly. Um, have you seen like how rugby compares from here to like
New
to
Zealand
say
and South Africa.
schools in New Zealand, South Africa?
Bro,
Exactly.
do you know Rugby Pass Official? Like the
No,
YouTube
no,
channel, Rugby Pass.
no. What's that?
Okay, so it gives you like an insight onto what schoolboy rugby is in Christchurch. They did
Christchurch. Yeah,
Christchurch
yeah,
Nudgee School in Australia,
yeah.
Hamilton High, which is
Right.
Where's that? No, I think that was the Christchurch one, bro. It's actually sick that the level of rugby there is so much higher compared to over here. I
Is
swear.
actually.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I thought it
everyone
is.
from the
I
age
mean,
of
they
like
all just
5
play
wants to be an All
rugby.
Black.
Yeah, they all
Yeah,
just play rugby.
their rugby is like our football over here, which is pretty sick.
Exactly.
On the sideline, they legit do hackers
No, I've
and
seen it. I've seen
it's
a few
crazy.
videos. They get like,
Yeah,
especially for like their first team, they get the entire school down there,
yeah, fully,
and
bro. It's like a full-on event every single home game.
mm,
Search it up. It was
I'll
so
definitely
good.
search it up. Um,
The
but
owner of Rugby Pass Official, like the person who
yeah,
created the YouTube channel and stuff,
yeah.
he was a ex Leicester player.
All right.
He
So
played for I can't remember his name,
yeah,
but
but
you can search him up. It's a
yeah,
decent rugby because in rugby there's not as much sort of YouTube content to watch, whereas
exactly.
football there's so
Football,
much.
yeah, exactly. There's just highlights like
Yeah,
match of the day. It's all over. Um,
yeah, all that stuff, all that shebang.
all the shebang.
Yeah, like
Um,
there's inside trainings that Man City and Liverpool are like
yeah,
the
yeah.
big. They do bits on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. I've seen Man City's channel. I think
Yeah.
they've got. How many subs do they have? Because I know
Yeah,
they've.
they're like the OG football
Yeah,
YouTube channel.
because I know they've done bits with a few like actual YouTubers. Um,
Yeah. KSI did a collab with Raheem Sterling
I
once.
know. Yeah, I
That
know.
was
Like
pretty cool.
I know Mini Minter did one with.
Oh, have you seen the clip where he reboned?
He
He
into
reboned and
into De Bruyne's
collided
face.
Kevin De Bruyne's jaw, mate.
Oh
That was hilarious.
no! I saw. I think it was Lad Bible. They posted that
Yeah.
exact clip.
Yeah. Oh, I follow them on Instagram as
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
lad.
yeah.
Bro, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was in Dubai as well.
Dubai, yeah.
YouTube's on the rise with all of that. I genuinely think one day
Yeah.
YouTube will overtake TV.
No, genuinely, yeah. It's gonna be the future, I think, because
Yeah,
you don't really see like what do you watch on TV like at all like
just purely like sport.
just sport, yeah. A few
Yeah.
movies from like here and again.
Yeah, now and then I'll watch like a
Yeah,
bit of I don't know ITV, but that's
yeah,
that's dead.
yeah. Exactly. It's just sport now, like
Yeah,
realistically,
because
and
our generation will probably continue to watch YouTube, and then TV will just become like for
yeah,
over 50s. It'll be
exactly. Yeah,
similar
yeah,
to
yeah,
how Facebook's become. Like Facebook back in the day was like the Instagram like of nowadays, but then over
exactly.
time it sort of
Yeah,
evolved, and now only I'd say about over 30s maybe,
yeah.
or like
Do
some
you?
20s,
Yeah, because like,
mostly over 30s use Facebook.
do you know anyone our age who uses
Actively
face?
uses
Yeah, yeah,
Facebook.
exactly. It doesn't happen.
Oh, like,
Um,
imagine like messaging your mate on Facebook.
yeah, you just don't see it. Um,
Nah, it's just not the one.
but no, but like I watch the only thing I genuinely now I just watch highlights on YouTube of the sports.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's just a bit long.
I don't really find myself
Recording
just
like a yeah.
sitting in front of the TV and just
Or
yeah.
obviously, if there's like a big international game, I'll sit down and watch that.
Oh yeah,
100%.
happily, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But
But
like Aviva Premiership, no, Gallagher Premiership highlights
yeah, yeah, you just
on YouTube. That's where
that's where it's at.
because it's
Exactly.
just straight to the point, really. Like you don't
Yeah,
watch all that sort of like boring stuff, especially if it's a slow game.
yeah,
Like, oh, I
exactly.
hate rugby games where it's like 24/7, just dropping the ball, scrum here, scrum there.
Yeah,
Like, it's just not fast flowing at all.
yeah.
Which is why I
It doesn't happen.
personally prefer the Super 15, bro.
Exactly.
The Crusaders.
That's definitely that's.
Yeah,
Do you think that's gonna be like the next big rugby thing? Is it coming?
yeah. They're returning June the 13th.
Yeah.
Going to be televised on Sky Sports. So it's peak if you've got BT, but then you can watch the Bundesliga, mate. So
Yeah, I think Super 15 is good as it involves like teams from different countries.
yeah.
That I think that's what
There's
makes it quite good.
4 different conferences:
Yeah.
New Zealand, Australia, South Africa.
Is
But there's
Japan? Is
also
there Japan?
well, no, there's the Sunwolves, which is like a Japanese team.
Yeah.
And also I think the Argentinian conference, like the
Yeah. I think yeah. I
Jaguares.
think I've heard the
They're
Argentina
pretty sick.
already.
But I much prefer that because it's so fluid rugby.
Yeah.
So much more
Exactly.
like just every second, bang, there goes Damien McKinsey,
You
bro.
know,
Richie Mwanga, Sivery Reese.
it just feels a lot more alive than
Yeah, it's much more exciting.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I'd say English is definitely
Definitely.
a lot more physical. a lot
exactly.
more hard crash lines and stuff,
Yeah, because
and you
like
don't see as
yeah,
much flair.
yeah. But with the Rugby World Cup, I think. Do you think like you must have watched the final, right? Some of the highlights of the
Yeah,
final. Um, you think with that like in the first few minutes when he got sent off, do you think that kind of paved the way for England's loss, or you know?
nah. South Africa just brought it to them,
I
mate.
think I think
I
they just
South Africa was so prepared that tournament. Like they got there 2 weeks early.
yeah.
Um, the coach made all the players not be able to access social media of any type
Oh yeah,
because it just distracts the players.
they just wanted it. I think they
Yeah,
just wanted it more than England then.
yeah, especially the South Africa captain. He was hungry. What was the name?
Yeah.
Khaleesi?
Yeah, it's Khaleesi. Yeah.
Khaleesi, yeah. Bro, his story's mad.
Have you seen it? I think wasn't there like I think they did like in like the before the final it aired on TV like some of his background, how far he's
Yeah,
come.
bro, he would like
Um,
take 3 hours to get to training, like,
yeah,
and turn up in his boxes
exactly.
because he was that poor. That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, I
Awkward
think
silence.
yeah. But no, do you? But I think coming back to this YouTube thing, do you think TikTok? I'm sure, obviously, you know of it, but do you think it's gonna overtake YouTube in a sense that
Nah,
YouTube
bro.
overtook TV? You don't think it will?
Think, bro,
But you see,
TV's still on top. TV's still on top. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion.
but
But
but you see, like,
TikTok's different,
but
bro.
you see, everyone these days has it. Literally, they might not post on it, but they have it. They use it as a source of kind of entertainment
Yeah,
in a sense to, because
yeah, but TikTok's used for like different purposes than YouTube. YouTube's like you want to chill, watch KSI.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, TikTok's more like lively.
Yeah, because TikTok is basically
It could die out within the next few years as well,
that's true. I think it's what do you think it's going to be a bit like musically in a
bro.
sense
It went like Vine.
that it just
It went
comes
Vine.
like
Do you
Vine,
remember Musically, bro? Oh,
Vine,
that was crazy.
mate, Vine,
It could be
yeah,
the new Musically.
because it went
And just die out.
Vine musically, and then Vine died out. Vine was like a massive thing, like 2013
Yeah,
to like 2016.
Vine
It was
created
huge.
loads of people. Like Logan Paul came from Vine.
Logan Paul, King Batch.
Yeah,
He
King Batch.
played.
He
He
was
played it.
funny, bro.
Mate, he was hilarious.
He's hilarious.
He played in the Sidemen
Charity football
charity
match.
match, I think in 2017. That was
Yeah,
pretty funny.
I went to the most recent one.
I know. I think you. They didn't. Last year was that going to be their last one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Uh,
but did you see the Waffling podcast by Joe Weller and Theo Baker?
no,
KSI
I didn't see
revealed
it.
that they were planning to do a charity football match this year,
Oh right.
Sidemen, but
If
obviously
obviously
got
Corona, yeah.
screwed over. Yeah.
Um,
Also, what
yeah.
do you think about YouTube boxing? What's gonna happen there, then?
I think.
Has it died? Is it over?
No, because obviously it all began in what 2018 now.
Yeah,
KSI and Joe Weller. So that's over 2 years ago now. I can't believe that.
yeah.
But
It's crazy what it just came from KSI commenting on
K-
Joe Weller's Instagram post,
and then it
but
evolved
then it all turned downhill from there.
exactly.
It got a bit heated in that press conference,
That press
that
conference was
upload
pretty.
event.
Yeah. Obviously, and then that evolved into KSI versus Logan Paul.
Yeah.
One.
I personally think KSI Jake Paul should have happened. Then when KSI clapped Jake Paul, then Logan Paul, and then that was the big event, and then it just finishes there. That would have been
Yeah.
the ideal
I
situation.
think I think one more fight for KSI should
Yeah,
see
it's
Logan
just a
Paul
bit
get
long
get
now. It's
get
just a bit
finished.
like, yeah,
I think it won't get as many kind of not as many people want to watch it because it's kind of I've already seen him fight 3 times now.
yeah. It's similar to YouTube football matches.
Yeah, exactly.
Like at the first Wembley Cup was so hype,
Yeah, unless
and
they
then the second one was
yeah
good as well, similar to
yeah.
Logan Paul KSI, and then the third one, like fourth, and then like the Sidemen ones, it just decreased over
I
time.
feel like unless they change it up massively or like because
Or
KSI
there's
like
a spark,
yeah
like
exactly
some sort of
exactly
beef, which just sets it all off, and then everyone's just gassed for it again.
exactly, because what we've watched KSI fight like 3 times now.
Yeah,
So
all the sidemen apart from KSI just aren't that like
yeah,
passionate towards it
obviously,
anymore.
obviously he's getting into he's big on like huge on music now. He's had a
Yeah,
couple
he
top
his
tens.
album released today.
Album dropped
Yesterday, sorry,
yesterday.
bro. I listened to it today. It's actually kind of sick. Not gonna lie.
Do you have a favorite song?
Ooh, no, obviously, down like that is the best one. I actually haven't like I just played his playlist today. I haven't actually checked out any of the songs, but Houdini's a banger.
No, who it has to be Houdini for me.
Yeah, wait, let me check right now. So there's one called Millions.
I like Cap.
Uh,
Cap is decent with Offset. It's a good song.
yeah,
Um,
Poppin's a bit of a stinker.
Poppin, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's a bit meh.
I feel like down like that, like all the songs he pre-released,
Yeah,
they're just the bangers. Um,
down like that came out of nowhere as well. Imagine if he lost, because he filmed the down like that.
literally like two
The
days after.
Yeah, that's crazy. With Rick Ross,
Yeah.
Lil Baby, and SX. He never forgets SX.
No,
Big up KSI.
yeah, but
He's a bad Lil Vibe featuring Jeremiah.
oh
How It
yeah,
Feel,
how I feel.
Killer Killer. I need
Yeah,
to listen to these.
yeah. Domain,
Undefeated.
domain, undefeated in millions. But
Yeah.
no, I feel like I know. KSI once said this in a video. A guy asked him who's the person you'd most want to collab with, and he said ASAP Ferg, and I was
Ooh.
I was a bit like I'm not sure about that, but
Yeah,
um
bro. I don't listen to any of those
no.
Rocky, ASAP, for all those guys. I'm not that big on American rappers. Not gonna lie.
No, I've never listened to any of ASAP Ferg songs. I mean, I listened to a bit of ASAP Rocky, but
Yeah, no. I thought you were
yeah.
quite big on American rap and that.
No, I am. Yeah, 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 definitely. I think like half my playlist is just hip. It's just hip hop and rap. Uh,
Yeah.
but no, I like it's pretty impressive, amazing to see how far KSI's come.
Bro, FIFA in his little room
In his little
with his
room.
brother
Yeah,
to
that's
becoming
kind of
like
what started
who
it.
he is now. That's crazy.
I think if you'd asked him back in like 2013, 2012, if he saw him where he is now, he'd just be like, no way, that's impossible.
Yeah, like,
But
are you having a laugh? Are you having me on,
are you
mate?
having me on?
20 mil
But
subs
yeah,
featuring Rick Ross, Lil Baby.
impossible.
Yeah,
But you know, um, I think like do you think some of his old songs are actually better than some of his new songs? Because obviously Lamborghini, his biggest,
that's the
his big,
banger, and I'm on
it's
a
his big,
horse.
it's his biggest song ever.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll ever be topped. Like,
yeah,
um, it's just it's a very hyped like gets you hyped song.
yeah.
So
That I'm on a horse, Lamborghini.
yeah,
What was the other one? No, it was like a Get Hyper.
get hyper.
The
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That was literally his trademark song for like
yeah.
3 years. Um,
Those were like meme songs. Nowadays, he's more of like mainstream, like actual good songs.
yeah,
Like,
like he wants to put himself out there.
yeah, get himself known on the music community. Like, feature on like I don't know, Capital Radio One,
No, yeah, he's
Capital Extra.
yeah. Because I
Imagine
don't.
if you saw
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Lamborghini on a mainstream radio station.
I've,
It
I
would just never happen.
no, it just doesn't happen. Because like I feel like he. I don't know if he meant that song to be kind of like not actually. He didn't want it to be kind of out there, but it just kind of took off
Yeah, bro.
in a
You
way.
got a Lamborghini, just made a song. What a legend.
Yeah. Now,
And
now,
then
every day you just see in like in the music videos, everyone's just has a Lamborghini in their music video.
yeah,
So,
big flex.
I wanna get your thoughts on something. So do you think AI will essentially replace human jobs in the future?
Bro, that's crazy. Imagine.
Imagine like
It's crazy. I genuinely do not know. Would I trust a car to drive my myself from Sainsbury's to like Tesco?
would you try? would you trust a robot to like? It would if it came to like, let's say in the future you could go to the store, you'd buy it, it'd come home, and it just does like all your needs, like your rubbish, your dishes, your washing up, literally everything.
I know.
So essentially, humans will never have to do
It's
kind of
mad.
labor at home anymore. Essentially,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just have. It's just unfathomable.
Do you think
Imagine like your little robot doing the dishes.
exactly?
But it's crazy because it probably will happen, mate.
Do you see it happening in the next by the end of 2030?
Nah, nah, nah. I think that's a bit too soon
Hmm.
because you've got to think about the expensives
It's
of
the
like
expensive side of it. Yeah,
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 like the average person is not going to be able to afford a robot like running around doing all the stuff for them. However, I do think that public transport could be
like
AI.
public transport. I think jobs that are like kind of high risk, like
Yeah,
kind of
because all the
um
lower end jobs could just crash with AI bots and stuff.
exactly because you
It,
see
it's
you see like I think like 90% of jobs is in retail, so jobs that are
yeah,
selling things you don't have to do much um like kind of nitty gritty stuff,
yeah.
much
It's
physical
similar to
work.
how builders in I don't know like the 1800s,
Yeah,
1900s
yeah,
would manually with like their own hands like dig up massive like holes
yeah,
for like I
exactly.
don't know big buildings for like foundations. Whereas now we've got cranes, we got
Yeah,
all the machinery we need. It could be now the machinery just does it by itself. It's still controlled by humans machinery,
yeah,
but it could just be I don't know anything. It's endless endless opportunities.
exactly. Cause you do you think like obviously not by end of 2030, but they could eventually be teaching our kids or children in schools.
Yeah, that yeah.
Because
Like instead of handwriting, just computers
it's
as
just
well.
because I know some schools they're just entirely on either iPads or laptops now.
Yeah,
But
but I still think you need a human interaction in order to like be to
exactly,
listen to like learn. Because imagine getting taught by like just a robot who doesn't has no expression in their face. It's just
exactly.
it wouldn't be able to like tell you off. Like imagine getting told off by like
Yeah, exactly.
Andrew, sit back down. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think,
It's just
and then
crazy.
yeah, because how could they can't tell children off and then punish them for it because
Yeah.
you'll end up having that someone who just kind of opposes them and
Yeah, and
yeah
I personally would not trust my kid to learn via a robot.
yeah, that's true, that is very true.
Did you hear Elon Musk
Elon Musk, I
about
didn't.
his
Yeah,
satellite Wi-Fi thing? That could be revolutionary.
where did you see that?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Let me
Just
see.
search it up.
Yeah.
Apparently, could get like a Wi-Fi connection anywhere in the world through satellites,
Oh
or
right,
I don't know.
yeah, I've just looked it up. Starlink.
Yeah, Starlink.
Starlink.
That I don't know much about it.
So apparently 12,000 satellites, aiming to provide higher internet speed connections across the world in the future.
Yeah,
Wow.
wirelessly.
12,000 satellites. Wow,
Yeah, but bun Ethernet, bro.
mate. Did you did you see the You probably didn't, but he went on the podcast with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, bro. I need to watch these
He's
Joe
been
Rogan
on.
podcasts.
He went on. He went on. I think before like a year and a half ago, and obviously this was before Elon had his uh, baby boy. Um,
Yeah.
and then I think they spent like a solid half an hour just talking about his son and the name. Uh, I know there was a video by Lil Board. You might know who he is. You know Lil Board.
Yeah, the one who
He
makes all
made
those
he made
funny
he made
videos.
a funny video on that podcast with Elon,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
literally just turning him into like a robot. Um,
Yeah.
cause yeah, he's a very interesting guy. Um,
Yeah,
but
the Tesla. Just imagine that you release like a Tesla. You say the main feature is that the windows will not break. Throw a brick, shatters
yeah,
everywhere.
you see that.
Mate, I would want to literally just cry right on the stage. It'd be so embarrassing.
Oh,
Thoughts on that Tesla as well? Would you
no,
cop it?
well, the thing is, would you? I have there. I don't know if there's been any have there been any incidents reported with Tesla cars as of yet?
I don't
Because
know,
I'll
but what I do know is that they are sick. Bro, every
you
single feature
you
about them is crazy.
so you take one. You would buy one.
Yeah, yeah, but obviously, you need money for that, mate.
No, it's
You know, there's you can literally so say you're on the motorway,
yeah,
you're going at a solid like I don't know 40 miles per hour,
yeah,
and you're going on like a slight curve. If you take your hand off the wheel,
yeah,
it will detect where your car is like aiming to go, and it will like drive itself. It can't like turn I don't know like just a sharp left, but it can like sort of like glide across like you know what I mean like
yeah. I
sort of
know.
drive on like a curve
Yeah,
but not like a sharp turn. But it's sort of like on its way to becoming a driveless car.
yeah, exactly. Because I know I've just searched up Tesla won the highest safety honor from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety for the first time in an electric vehicle maker's history. And then achieved a good performance in all six of its crash tests. So
Yeah,
it's obviously they're going to spend hours and hours just constantly testing the driving software. So it's
hmm
just going to be it's going to end up essentially just being foolproof, and I think that's going to be the future. Just self-driving cars.
yeah,
Humans will no longer need to
yeah.
put their hand on a wheel and drive.
Probably crash all those diesel cars. I don't know,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Because I don't know. Is it possible to make all vehicles in the world just electric? Because
yeah, I don't know, bro.
I don't think it could. Because I
I read
know.
this thing by
Yeah,
2040
yeah,
they're planning for every single car to be electric,
yeah.
which it's a
But it does
big
it.
goal.
I don't know. Does it seem realistic? Maybe, but it's definitely going to be extremely hard to achieve because
Yeah,
obviously then what's going to happen with all this oil? It's gonna have to go into something. Obviously, it
bro,
could
we're
either
gonna
go.
run out of oil.
Yeah, it's I know the price of oil plummeted. It's plummeted like
Yeah,
severely during lockdown worldwide because
yeah.
no one's out driving. So exactly.
That's actually a big factor. Loads of businesses were all crashed. Have you seen what's it Black Friday in America was completely just done because
Yeah,
Corona.
yeah.
The economy's done out there.
I know
So all the people trying to cop some Black Friday deals, get a cheap TV.
exactly
If there's
because
nothing on.
I know Black Friday in America.
Yeah, bro.
It's like Thanksgiving. It's like
Yeah.
one of the biggest days out there. Everyone just goes mental there. And
Yeah, have you
then
seen those videos online? They're like people just waiting for the doors to open and then they all just run in.
oh, it must be like
I'd kind of want to do that, just for the experience.
well, you just run in and try and grab a TV and
Yeah,
then.
buy it really cheap.
But I've seen videos where you just get there's just so many people where you just end up getting crushed.
Yeah, just bombarding their way through, trying to get that the best deal possible.
It's literally everyone's at everyone's at tech stores and
Yeah,
computer stores on those days. No, you don't really see anyone else in any other shops because
yeah.
that's really
Trying to cop a Black Friday deal for a Big Mac.
yeah. Um, no, it just doesn't happen. Um, but yeah, Black Friday.
Yeah, it's
It's
22nd of November, I think,
22nd of November for us.
For England.
Ooh.
Thoughts on when this virus will end and we
Oh.
can get a good Black Friday deal?
Well, I know my school's going. I think it's all secondary schools, and now going back not until September.
After September,
After
yeah.
September. And then I know year six are going back. June the
I
first.
think after this half term, yeah.
Yeah, June the first. But I think
But
that.
what I don't understand is that
Yeah.
so eventually it's like inevitable that would get to this stage. So
Yeah.
why did Boris not just he took so long to put London into lockdown? Like
When what
that he went from stage like 1 to 4 when he could have just started at stage 4 and then prevented so many deaths. Like I don't understand.
exactly? Wait, so the lockdown started on 23rd of March, and I think um 23rd of March. So I think what were the cases in England back then? Um, I'm just gonna
Bro, I just remember like hearing, oh, one person's got. Like, do you remember everyone was like laughing at those memes of like people in like Wuhan, and then all of a sudden, one person has it in England. Oh no! And then like eventually just spreads and spreads.
exactly. Because I know.
I think
Yeah. Go on, go on.
there's this thing called the R rate, which shows how however many like one person gets the virus, how
How it
likely they're
spreads.
spread
How
it
it
on. Yeah,
spreads.
I think it's and if it goes anywhere above 1, then we're in danger. But I think it's zero point 0.7 at the moment.
Yeah.
But which is still like it's shocking.
Yeah. So yeah, after it's the range is 0.7 to 1.
Yeah.
So, um, but do you know anyone who actually caught it? Like family, friends.
Nah.
Anyone?
My neighbor's like uncle
Oh
had it or
right,
something.
he had it, but he
Yeah.
recovered. He recovered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I know my old school. The deputy head. He got it. It
Jeez.
was pretty insane. He was apparently it's kind of some of the worst pain like you'll ever feel with the headaches. Um,
Really?
yeah, he had severe headaches, like worse than he'd like ever had it.
Bro.
Yeah, I think it's
My school went on
yeah.
a ski trip to Italy.
When was that?
During the time when the virus was
Oh,
spreading.
was
So
that February
yeah.
half term?
Yeah. February half term, they
Yeah,
returned,
yeah,
and immediately our school had to go into lockdown, which was everyone. I remember, oh, it was so funny. Like
yeah,
the teacher was like, "Guys, we have some really bad news to tell you,"
yeah,
and we were, "Oh no, please, we haven't done anything bad, right?"
yeah,
And like when
yeah,
that when suspense just like covers the room,
yeah,
and then she read this letter from our head teacher, which
yeah.
was like, "It's with deep regret, but our school is going into shutdown."
Everyone,
And then the
everyone
second
just,
that happened, everyone
everyone
erupted.
just goes
Bro,
mental.
everyone was banging tables, flipping chairs. Oh,
Oh
it
my
was so
gosh.
gas. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
we were all celebrating, but then we came to the realization that we're still gonna have to do work from school. So it was
But
very
yeah.
disappointing.
Wait. So did your school close
You know
at
that?
the same day as the lockdown, or was it
No.
in
We
February?
did a week earlier.
Oh right. All right.
So
That's
we were
good.
in shutdown before every other school,
Yeah.
because year 7 and 8 returned from a ski trip
Oh right.
where the
Yeah.
virus was very prominent,
Oh
which
right.
was pretty crazy. Our school had a very deep clean.
Yeah. Because there were a few people in my house at school. They went to areas in Italy for half term, and then they got 2 weeks off school.
Yeah,
Um,
self isolation. Also, teachers were feeling ill as well,
Teachers, yeah,
which is
that's a big thing
that's
for
pretty dodgy.
teachers because the teachers obviously have some of the most interactions with
Yeah,
with the students, so it's gonna be pretty big if they catch it.
but do you know what else is just mind blowing? Is that
Yeah,
we are literally living in history.
exactly.
Like we should feel so like I don't know,
We
privileged, honored.
tell our kids like we
Yeah,
live through
yeah.
like a worldwide pandemic.
Yeah,
You know.
that's just amazing. To
No.
well, it's bad, but like it's crazy because
Yeah.
I guarantee you, within the next 100 years, we're going to be on a 12-mark question, which is like, how
Exactly.
did Boris Johnson cope with the virus? Was
Exactly.
it significant?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
like,
How did it
yeah,
like impact? It's definitely gonna be like geography. How did it impact the like pollution worldwide, economics?
yeah.
How did it affect
What impact did it have on the economy?
economy
What?
worldwide? Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
crazy.
exactly.
No one knows when it's going to end.
Uh,
If it will end.
no, because
Second wave? Question mark.
exactly, because like the only time it can end is if there's a cure. Really. Um,
Was antibody?
and
No. Bro, what the words just left my
what,
mind.
antibiotic.
No, 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 bro.
What?
You know the cure, like a medicine.
Vaccine.
What's vaccine? Now, bro, I'm so dumb. Yeah, a
Yeah.
vaccine could be the answer to all our problems.
Yeah, but
In a
obviously,
way, I feel like as much as I feel sorry for all the families who have lost loved ones,
yeah,
it's kind of good for the world.
yeah, it could
I
like,
hate I hate saying it, but like
yeah,
it's
it's
done
kind
so
of
much.
survival of the fittest, isn't it?
Yeah.
And kind
In
of,
a way, I feel like I don't know, God,
I
Mother
I
Nature
think it's kind of
could be.
it's revitalized the earth
Yeah,
in a sense.
we were malnourished before.
But I don't actually think it's impacted worldwide population that much. I think it might have dropped
Yeah,
a bit, but it's not really had much effect on it.
is it a coincidence that the majority of people dying from this virus are old people?
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think it would be a completely different story if it infected anyone.
Yeah,
That would completely change it. And
bro. In Spain, the lockdown started very early, and then but the kids were told, all the children were like, you can meet up with your friends, and then that just spread it even more. But
exactly.
if children could die from this virus,
Yeah.
then it could have been the next plague.
Yeah, I know, because I know. Obviously, it's been like it's been said that children like under 16, 15, 16 are essentially immune, but they can still
Yeah,
carry it. They can still transmit it
yeah,
onto other
fully.
people. Um,
Yeah, and once you get the virus, you're immune to it as well.
yeah, is it? I don't know. Can you catch it? Can you catch it for a second time after you?
Yeah, I don't know like anything about this.
Yeah. Uh,
All I know is that everyone's just so uncertain. It's almost as if the people want just a full on list of what you can and can't do it.
exactly. Like, have you met up with anyone outside of
I met up with
work?
one of my mates,
Yeah.
but because that is within the rules.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Literally about 2 days ago. Yeah, went on a bike ride.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough.
Pretty sick. Yeah,
Um, but then see myself, I haven't really gone out the house. I'm not really
just hibernating.
like
Yeah,
the only time I'd go out is obviously just have a quick run.
yeah.
But
Keep the fitness up pre-season.
preseason, I'm actually kind of happy we're going straight back into rugby football season because
Yeah.
like I feel like
No, we're going back into summer, aren't we?
what?
The off season. Wait, it's meant to be lifted by. Okay, what? Wait, when this virus ends, when
Yeah,
we go back to school,
yeah,
I'm assuming, which will be in September.
yeah.
September's that. Oh yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah. So
The when does the rugby season start? From September to.
September till December.
Yeah.
So
Oh, geez, yeah.
no, I'm
Feels bad on all the cricketers out there.
I'm a cricketer, but like it's just not something I'd play all the
Yeah.
time. Um,
Imagine just waiting all year round, like practicing indoor cricket, and then the season finally
I
comes,
know
your
there
big
are
breakthrough, and then just
exactly.
bang. We're kind of fortunate that
Yeah,
rugby's a sort of winter sport as well.
yeah, that is very true.
And also, I hate how school rugby, predominantly most schools play from September to December. it's only about 8 games.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh.
so peak.
So wait. So how many games did you have last season?
Oh, we only had like basketball's trash though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We only had like eight matches.
8. Yeah. I think we had 11. So
Yeah, but
yeah, it's.
club rugby lasts a lot longer though.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Obviously, you've got club rugby, so I think that kind of
Yeah.
makes up for it. Um,
But if you
that's
didn't
good.
board, you could still play
Oh
for
no,
us in
yeah.
com-
If I didn't
after
board,
the
obviously I'd play. But
like Luke and Frank and all
Luke
them.
Luke does, yeah. Luke doesn't play? Does he play every week or I don't
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he still goes down there. Alright, that's
yeah.
that's decent. That's good.
Luke's a
Um,
beast.
is he? Yeah, I know,
Yeah, bro.
I know he is. Is he? How tall is he now? He's like um Max. Oh,
So sorry, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think just cut out.
All right. How tall is he? How tall's Luke now?
Oh yeah, yeah, like 6'1",
6'1". Yeah, yeah.
around 6 foot maybe 6'1".
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, yeah. Bro,
So
if you stayed,
no, yeah.
our team would be even better. We'd be doing so much more.
I know. Does Seb play anymore? Because
Nah,
I know he's
Seb's been
staying.
injured though.
He's yeah. I know he's had quite a few injuries
Yeah,
this year. Um,
I thought his
but
knees were playing him up as
yeah,
well.
his knees. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
which is really peak. Our injuries just so bad.
I've never actually
You're lucky. I play through this. I have like these
yeah,
groin problems where like if I was to play football,
yeah,
but this is why I mainly play rugby. If I play football for more than half an hour, like all the dodgy like movements you do to like pass the ball,
yeah, 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 yeah.
like my legs just they just don't work.
They just give in. Yeah,
I also have this thing called Sever's disease. It's not like a disease, but it's called that where your
yeah.
heels sort of inflame and it feels like you're running on a bruise. It's quite common for boys like
Oh yeah.
between the ages of 10 to like 15.
So it's wait. So it's mainly for people who. Is it something that you're born with, or
Nah,
you
nah,
kind
nah.
of pick it up?
I think it's from
Just
running styles because I would always like land on my heel
right.
when
Yeah.
not when I'm sprinting, obviously, but when I'm like so jogging bound, I like land on my heel.
Yeah.
So then all the impact creates uh just pain.
Yeah. Exactly.
Bro,
Um.
don't take it for granted, mate, when you're not injured.
Have you ever broken a bone?
Nah, nah, nah.
Never. Yeah. I've never.
I'm lucky.
I'm lucky because I hardly get injured. Like
Yeah, it's because you're a winger.
mate, shut up.
Bro, what do wingers
um,
do?
mate, I play inside
Nah, I'm
centre.
joking.
Not
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
inside, outside. Yeah, inside. But yeah, I'm just lucky, I guess.
Would you ever change? Would you ever become a forward?
I wouldn't know. I feel like I couldn't because it's just not for me.
It's
And
just not
like
the one.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, we were change it up a bit now. I know that
Yeah.
we were talking about this a few nights ago. So what do you think there's a conflict between science and religion at the
Oh,
start of kind of the universe, essentially?
bro. There's just so many different opinions and like concepts but personally what I believe,
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna lay it out to you.
yeah,
I believe in science and that the Big Bang did happen to create the world,
yeah,
but what scientists can't explain is what created the Big Bang. And then
yeah,
eventually you'll get to the answer, well then what created God?
exactly.
But then I believe that God is just like the beginning.
So, so what? So when you say God is the beginning, does that mean He
God
do you
sort
mean
of
by
just
that
like
he's infinite? He wasn't created or
God created us to
yeah.
be. God is like ineffable. He's like
Right. Yeah.
indescribable.
Yeah.
No one knows. It's
Exactly.
such. He made humans like incapable to understand like about him.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's crazy. And like, what if there's like other life on different planets? Because
Exactly.
the world is literally Earth is just not even a dot in comparison to the size of galaxies and like
Exactly.
solar systems, and I don't even know anything, mate.
I feel like it's. I feel like it. I feel like it's something, especially like with the Big Bang and God. I feel like it's something our minds can't comprehend.
Yeah.
Because
And what if there's
we
other life out there? What if there's like
no,
another
I feel like
Earth,
there has to be, doesn't there?
bro?
Because
But like, how would they communicate to each other?
do you think that there's the theory that the Big Bang starts it, and then obviously the universe, and then when it comes to its end, it just shrinks, and then that's when the Big Bang is. It just keeps
Yeah,
repeating. It's just like a cycle.
yeah, just an endless cycle,
Yeah.
bro. If that happens, then time is just so long. Like that means we are literally living not even like worth
Yeah.
to count a
Exactly.
second of
Because
how
I
long this
saw
existence is.
I saw this NASA post. They posted that they found an alternate reality where time goes backwards, and I thought, and I'm pretty sure it was. I think pretty sure the words um, were jumbled up by kind of the journalists that reported it. But if that's true, that could show us something, that kind of time is really something
Yeah.
that we can't. It's not something we. It's not something that exists. Rather something that we've kind of taken to exist.
Mm.
Exactly, in a sense that
Who created like time?
yeah,
Like, who decided? Imagine being that person who decided. All right, now it is 12 o'clock, and from now on, the time just rolls on.
exactly.
And like, who decided like the amount of hours in a day
Because it's
and
gonna
like days of
be
the
yeah.
week?
Because it's gonna be it's I believe it's an ancient Egyptian thing, time, where it began kind of
Yeah,
in the ancient Egyptian thing where they kind of it's I think they based it off. It's obviously kind of the first clocks that we use. They were based off how the sun, basically how much the sun was shining in the sky, and that's how they
yeah, yeah,
kind
yeah.
of.
There's a way you can like tell the time through the stars and the sun,
Oh yeah, because
which is pretty
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But
Just imagine like just nothing, no matter. Just
exactly.
it's crazy.
Like before the Big Bang, what was there?
Oh,
Just nothing. Like
like
that's
no
simple
existence
enough.
of anything.
No matter, there was no elements, no protons, neutrons, electrons,
Yeah,
nothing in the galaxy, just empty space. But
my mind right now.
but
Just
yeah, but essentially, when when someone tells you to kind of clear your mind, think of absolutely nothing.
I know,
You can't do that.
I know, because you have to think of something in order to think of
Nothing.
nothing.
Exactly. Because nothing is something. If you think
Immediately,
about
I
it.
just think of like just a sort of like a black
I
room.
think of a black or white room. Exactly.
Yeah,
Just
which is something, even though I'm trying to think of nothing.
exactly. So
And also, what if another like I don't know another world where there is existence, which is just like evolved over time, and science has just uh gone insane over there, created the Big Bang, where some mad scientist put together some formula and like just
yeah,
pressed go and then bang.
because I feel like if we are to discover extraterrestrial life, we have to adapt our um our space vehicles and our spacecrafts, because
Yeah,
you see kind of you see in Star Wars, you see in all these kind of space movies, um, you see obviously they travel. They they do the thing called what's it called in Star Wars? Light travel.
Uh,
S- Is it?
something like that. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
So they basically travel from galaxy, not yeah, from kind of
Yeah.
different parts. In
But how many like hours would we need to travel in order to find
mm,
other existence? Like
mm,
we'd need to like there'd need to be like a family.
exactly.
Like need to
Because
like
I
give
think we
birth.
have to make kind of cryogenic um cryogenic sleep that has to be available.
Yeah.
It's basically where
We'd need to
you
be
probably know.
there'd need to be like generations of like families on some sort of aircraft in order to get to other life.
And I think
And then you've got to factor all the supplies that and all the needs they would have to live off in order to.
we'd have to well the people traveling there they'd have to be you'd have to have thousands of people on that ship. You'd have to somehow program the
Yeah.
ship to see. This is where androids could come into play. They could um they could essentially they could drive the ship and power it and do kind of maintain it whilst humans are whilst they've been put to sleep
Yeah.
for the journey. So
According
yeah.
to the Big Bang Theory, the whole universe emerged during a single moment some
Hmm.
13.7 billion years ago. In the
Jesus. Yeah.
competing theory, our universe generates
Yeah.
and regenerates itself in an endless cycle of
Exactly.
creation.
Exactly. So
Oh
this is
my
what you're saying.
days.
This is I can't fathom. Can you fathom 13.7 billion years?
Bro, I thought like having to wait an hour to get to and from
Yeah, yeah,
training
yeah.
would be long.
And then 13, and then think about humans have only been on Earth for. I think if you could to compare the length of the universe to
And there's
one
multiverses as well, which
one
is like
yeah.
multitude of universes as well, which
Mm.
is just insane. Like I wish humans were naturally just smarter,
Yeah,
so
because
we could understand all of this. Like it's it's too much for me, man.
do you think in like a few hundred years or so, people will eventually
Yeah,
either find the key to space travel or um
or the very
find the
idea of time.
find the key to kind of immortality or
Yeah,
because I feel like immortality it can never really be a thing because
yeah,
everyone gets it and then the population just increases
yeah,
like tenfold and
bro.
unless we can find um other
And
planets that
everything's just a theory.
other planets
The
that just
very
don't
idea
have
of time is it's
yeah
just meaningless.
yeah
The beginning is meaningless.
um but yeah that's
And the Big Bang Theory took shape in the 1960s, uh, and still to this day, we still don't understand, and it's 2020.
yeah
It was an explosion of space and time. I'm reading this thing, by the way.
yeah
At some point, space and it was an explosion,
read
and
it
it did
out
not exist beforehand. So, like, what created it?
exactly
It's hard to imagine time just starting. And how does the universe decide when it's time to like pop into existence?
so yeah there has to be like millions of theories why but that I think it's I think I read once it's the universe gets to a point where kind of it reaches its peak and then it just starts from there just collapses into itself and
Yeah,
that's where kind of Big Bang and then it's kind of a cycle like that um
fully.
mm. so what
I,
so what
I just
yeah
I don't know enough about this at all.
yeah because I know in like I think that like if you look up kind of the growth rate of the Big Bang, it went from um, it went from like something like a pea-sized shape
Yeah,
to like Earth-sized shape in like I think like in like nanoseconds. Like it just
yeah, that's crazy.
um yeah. So in roughly 10⁻35 seconds, so that's 0.00035 times.
Yeah,
Um, it the expansion jumped, causing the universe to grow by a factor of roughly 10 to the 50 in a virtual instant. So, oh, so
are these just theories as well? Because
I
I
don't
swear
know.
The Big Bang's just a theory.
Yeah, so I know is the universe? I've just looked it up. I've just seen it here. How fast did the universe expand? 72 kilometers a second. So is that? Mm,
72 kilometers a second.
yeah, but
Or what if this is just all a simulation?
yeah, that is true. I think that's what Elon Musk thinks, that we are being controlled. Um,
Yeah. What if we're just like Sims?
we're just in a computer game. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure I believe that at all.
yeah. Because I feel like, but the thing is, I think I was reading this in philosophy. Um, did the universe start 5 minutes ago? So what do you we was everything
Whoa,
just born 5 minutes ago, and you were programmed with everything you've known before that?
jeez.
Could you disprove that?
Or what if every single person is evolving around you? Like you're just some random, you're like a character in some gameplay, and everyone is acting. Everyone knows what really is
So
happening.
everyone else is like a already pre-programmed
Yeah,
character, and they're just acting on.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking this a bit as well,
yeah,
like a couple of months ago. Like, what if like when you're walking down the street, the people walking alongside you or across the road from you are
yeah,
all just being controlled, or their characters all acting.
yeah.
You know,
Exactly. Um, it's called the simulation hypothesis, and it's proposes that all reality, including the Earth and the universe, is in fact an artificial simulation.
artificial.
Artificial simulation, most likely a computer simulation. Um,
Yes. Oh my! Just imagine we're in a PC. We're just a bit of RAM in a PC.
exactly. We yeah. But the thing is, if we're pre-programmed, then how come we're self-aware? We are mindful. We
I know.
are
How can we pinch ourselves and feel pain?
yeah. We are we can be empathetic.
Yeah.
And
And going back to the God point, if God loves us, then why does He make us suffer?
exactly. I know that is um in Buddhism, the
Karma.
the um the founder of Buddhism, Siddhartha Gautama, he he saw four things in his life, which essentially led him on the path to want to find enlightenment, because he was actually brought up in a life of seclusion. He had a palace. Um, he never left it
Yeah.
until he was 28, and like 28 mid 30s, and then when he finally experienced the real world and what people suffered, that that um, that kind of led him on his path to that. I know the Buddhism way is kind of life, death, rebirth, and that's just their cycle. So
Yeah.
they believe that you never actually um,
Die.
die, and your soul is just kind of passed on.
Yeah, reincarnation almost.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it is.
What if we've been reincarnated?
Yeah,
Imagine.
I know, I know you, but then we've kind of started fresh. We've never actually. So
Yeah.
let's say in like our previous life we were like a, I don't know, like a fish or something. They do they we obviously I don't even know that because see wouldn't you remember something if you were the same thing?
Yeah, or maybe we remembered, but over time we just forget.
Exactly, because isn't it going to be kind of like you live, you die, and then I don't know, it could be like hundreds of thousands of years until you're actually um brought
Given a
back,
second chance.
given yeah, exactly, given the second chance, given another
Or
chance.
what if when you die, you just go away? Just nothing. Because people believe that. Like,
No, yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
No
Go
offense,
on.
but people believe that are just so hopeless. Like, come on, you may as well believe in heaven as like an opportunity,
Yeah,
because life is so short in comparison to existence of everything.
exactly. Like, what if when you do die,
It's
it's
just
just
there's
darkness.
nothing.
There's nothing.
It's just
That
ju-
that's actually what nothing is when.
that is mind blowing.
Yeah,
Just when you die,
yeah,
you forget everything. There's no sort of emotion you feel. There's just nothing.
exactly. So that's kind of when you're alive, you can't actually think of it, but then when you pass, that's when it becomes kind of your reality. Um,
Yeah, but heaven and hell. Imagine if you
yeah,
are a mass murderer, you go to hell, and say for example, you put your hand in a boiling pot of water.
yeah.
Imagine that's like sort of the similar pain you'd feel, but constantly. It'd be excruciating. Like, do you think that's what hell is, or is hell like rehabilitation,
Because
or is hell even a place?
because there, I know different religions believe in different things, but there's the kind of the trifecta of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Those three religions they're in some way related to each other, and
Yeah,
they all believe in kind of
afterlife.
the afterlife. If you're good in the real world, like whilst you're living, that's
Yeah,
kind of your test.
yeah. Life
And
is just a test.
and if you pass it, you obviously
Enter
enter
the
heaven,
afterlife.
and then if not,
But
or
then, what is a pass? Like, if I died right now, would I pass the test?
exactly, do you have to live your life fully
Yeah, that's what some people
to
live their life as. Like today, if I died right now, would I have passed the test?
exactly? So it's quite interesting because then if you're not religious, can you still go to heaven?
What if you were brought up non-religious?
Yeah,
You can't help it,
exactly.
and
So
that's just the way it is. You have
yeah,
your ancestors to blame, who decided they couldn't be bothered to go to church every week.
yeah. Cause
Man, this is
do you because I know there's a distinction in the Judaism religion that there's Reformed and there's Orthodox Jews. Orthodox
yeah,
obviously being the more severe case.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They like to take it. They follow the rules to the most extreme, and they are
yeah,
very obedient to the religion.
yeah,
Does that give them a greater chance?
yeah.
Obviously, as they're
If
abiding
you follow
with the
every
religion.
single rule, don't commit anything,
Yeah.
you're
But then, is that actually?
clean.
Are you actually experiencing life?
Yeah.
And are you actually kind of getting the most out of it by doing that?
Or are you sort of just like, okay, I've got to do this in order to do this.
Yeah.
It's just meaningless. It's insincere. Or are
Exactly.
you actually meaning it to be a good person,
Exactly.
or do you just want to get by?
Um. Exactly.
And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
also a big thing is that as you said before,
Yeah.
Christianity, Islam,
Yeah.
Buddhism, all the religions,
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
single denomination, the Bible, for example, like Quran,
Yeah.
the Torah, they
Yeah.
all sort of like contradict each other.
Yeah.
For example,
Exactly.
in the Bible, love thy neighbor as thyself, the most basic basic thing.
Yeah.
Well, then why does it say that, I don't know, uh, women should be silent in church? It says that in the Bible, or in the Bible, they're against like gays and stuff like that. It says for if
So,
a man is
so
to like touch
yeah,
another
because
man, he's an abomination. But then
exactly,
it says if love thy neighbor as thyself.
love thy neighbor
And,
basically comes to mean love everyone, and
yeah,
you can't
like
hold
no stress, just chill, man.
yeah
Just
yeah
treat your neighbor like you're a homie, bro.
you can't hold a grudge
Yeah.
against every single person. Um,
But then in the story of Job,
yeah,
it said God granted permission for Job to actually kill someone, which is
exactly.
just mad. It's just constant contradiction. Constant, okay, you can't do this, but you can do that. But then over here it says you can't do this and you can do that. You know, what are we meant to believe as Christians?
Yeah,
Or as like it's crazy. Also, have you seen this thing on Netflix called The Afterlife by Ricky Gervais?
I haven't seen that.
Same. But
No.
apparently it's really good.
If what? Let me.
I don't know, but I just
Did you see
every
it?
single time I watch like I don't know an Instagram story or like any sort of YouTube video. For example, Jack Goodhue, he
Yeah.
posted it on his Instagram story, best Netflix documentary that I've ever watched, and it was called The Afterlife.
Right.
It constantly comes up as recommendations, but you know, there's so many different beliefs and stuff. Like,
Because obviously, um, Moses, he um, he received the Ten Commandments from
yeah,
God
which was
Himself,
engraved into the stone and stuff like that.
which then, um, pardon me, was then obviously because Judaism came before Christianity, then
Yeah,
Christianity accepted those Ten Commandments into the Bible as well in Exodus and Deuteronomy. Um, and then, so I think Christianity and Judaism could it be said that they are the two most closely
yeah,
linked religions out of all the
because
religions.
essentially Christianity is just a branch of Judaism.
Yeah,
Judaism.
yeah. Because I know at the time of Jesus, 99% of people I think most people were in fact Jews. So,
Yeah,
and then I think Christianity finally became a recognized religion many years after Jesus's.
yeah.
Uh,
But there are sort of in the scriptures accounts of journalists. I can't remember the name of
yeah,
people saying, this is generations after Jesus died on the cross. People recorded what actually happened
yeah,
because you got to remember there was literally no sort of you know anything to sort of record it apart from just writing.
yeah,
And imagine if someone, okay, I've thought about this before.
yeah,
Imagine if someone was really bored one day. They
yeah,
had a pen and
yeah,
whatever they used as paper back then,
yeah.
just ink, and started to create a story called the
Exactly,
Bible. They
exactly.
wrote every single chapter, verse, all of that,
Because
and
this is why I'm not sure. Because how how was it possible for all of kind of Jesus' disciples and friends to, after his passing, write all of his life experiences down,
yeah,
and
yeah.
kind of we've come to believe them really, and
I'm sure some of them have been either exaggerated or
that's the thing
misinterpreted.
with his miracles, kind of feeding the 5,000, with the sick man, with the fishes at I can't remember the lake. It might have been the Lake of Galilee. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh,
All
kind of
of that
was
was is it metaphorical as well? That is a big belief.
or is Jesus a reincarnation of God? So
Yeah, yeah.
that
I
could also
believe
yeah.
you know how they say Jesus sent his son. I mean,
Yeah.
God sent his son.
God sent his
But
son.
there's so many different sort of beliefs that people think God sent himself down in Jesus's body.
Yeah, exactly. So when
You know
the
that people believe
Mm.
God is neither male nor female. It's just God.
Yeah, exactly.
People believe Adam and Eve were not actually real because
Yeah,
Howard.
because then evolution that comes into play.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I believe in evolution personally
yeah, definitely.
because
Because
it's even on your body. Like we have a tailbone
yeah,
which
exactly.
has no purpose
Yeah,
for ourselves.
it has zero purpose, but it's still there,
The evidence is
and
literally on
it's
our
clear.
body.
It's clear. Yeah, exactly. You've just said it there. It's clear
Yeah,
evidence to our kind of ancestors going
but
back.
then is evolution just a test to see if God is loyal to us?
Yeah, because do you want to wait? So what do you mean by that? So
So the concept,
yeah,
the theory is evolution a theory? It is, I guess.
yeah. Obviously founded by
Well, that's a debate. That's a debate. But say evolution is just a theory, all right?
yeah,
Uh, it's a very convincing theory. Hence why I believe in it, and so most Christians do. What if it's just a theory that is very believable, created by God?
yeah.
God gave someone the intelligence to, what was his name, Darwin,
Darwin,
to
yeah, Charles Darwin.
create theory, to create that theory of evolution. So in order to be like, I don't know, a 6 marker on a test,
Yeah, yeah,
which we need to pass in order to get heaven.
yeah,
But with that being said, Charles Darwin is actually a Christian, or
yeah,
was a Christian.
yeah,
What if he's just laughing down on us right now?
yeah. But then there's a theory of evolution by natural selection. So the fittest. So let's say if there is a disease that kind of has taken over a species of, let's say tigers, it only impacts tigers. 9 out of 10 of them die from it, but then one survives. That's natural selection. So
All right, yeah.
then that tiger will then pass on its genes to its children, and then the disease will no longer be a problem. So that's kind of evolution.
True. Yeah, I
So
see that.
yeah,
But then you could argue, for example, there was a concept that a giraffe, the reason it has such a long neck
yeah, yeah,
is because they reach for trees.
yeah, exactly.
So over time, their neck just grows and grows.
Yeah,
But if you think about it for a second, if like there's a human who goes to the gym every day, gets really strong, that doesn't necessarily mean their child is going to be a henchman
exactly.
as
That's
well.
very true. Because
So you have to sort of like consider that as well. Like, people with like born with a disease uh could give birth to people who aren't born with a disease as well. I think it's just all luck. Like life is
cause, yeah,
75% luck.
because you know
You've got to
there
think about
are yeah, go on, sorry. Yeah,
it.
yeah,
No, because imagine if you're born with like an IQ of like an insane IQ of like 200 or something like that,
yeah,
then it's insanely lucky because you can just live life, just chill and like just get a really good job, earn loads of money,
yeah,
and you're chilling. But if you're born with a natural IQ of like 30,
yeah,
then life's gonna be so difficult, and you'll just have just nothing to sort of live for because your intelligence is so low. Or if
exactly,
you're born like paralyzed, you know,
exactly.
life is just like if you're born like Usain Bolt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, but and then the extra 25% is hard work and talent and obvious.
Does that mean his
Yeah,
children will be fast, basically?
you probably.
Mm. But
But
yeah,
yeah, this is
because
deep
yeah,
conversations.
because there are around 3,600 species of snakes in the world. Three only 375 of them are venomous. So obviously, most of those species are in Asia and South America and North America.
Yeah,
They have obviously coming back to evolution. They've evolved to suit their climate, suit their area.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
because there's desert snakes, so um, how they've evolved to eat the certain creatures that are in their area and how because obviously if you were to put a anaconda, which are long snakes live in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
swamps in kind of the Amazon, if you were to put that, let's say, in a
Antarctica.
well, obviously, um, if you were to put that in, let's say, a kind of dry, scarce, less a densely populated area of kind of prey, it wouldn't be able to survive because it hasn't evolved to. Eventually, if you put hundreds of them there, eventually over time, this is obviously evolution again. They would obviously the
Evolve.
fittest would survive, and then their genes, and this is where kind of um, their physical traits show on the outside, their skin, their size, uh, and kind of what they eat they'd have to evolve to adapt to that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of yeah. So that's
Who
it's
knows what
interesting
we could
how
have evolved from?
exactly because I know I read this one thing. All humans living today are related all the way back to one woman who lived in Botswana, I think, 180,000 years ago or something. Um, so
Jeez.
every single human alive.
Yeah. Also learned that apparently we all evolved from Ethiopia as well.
Mm, it's obviously African based,
Yeah.
African slash Middle East, uh, kind of generated really. And then also um, insects outnumber humans 200 million to one. So there's 200 million insects in the world for every single
For every one
every
human.
single human. 7.78 billion of us. Everyone has 200 million. Um,
Wait, do the math. So 200 times like 7 billion
hold up.
is how many like insects there are.
Uh, let's. Uh, hold up.
It's like around. Wait, let me. I'm trying to do mental math here.
Okay, so it's 1.5 times 10 to the 18 um, insects for every single human.
Bro, they must be terrified when they see humans.
Yeah, exactly. And then when it comes to it, why are why haven't insects essentially taken over the world if they outnumber us so greatly? It's because kind of humans we have come to
We have intelligence like none other.
we've come yeah exactly there's that but then uh we've come to kind of grips with the fact that these insects they are bad but they're bad to kind of have them in like your house so we've kind of evolved to kind of think that if we see an insect I need to kill this otherwise it's gonna kind of harm me but in reality there's nothing it can do if you think
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and I think
It
yeah,
goes back to how humans
yeah,
were and dinosaurs were.
yeah,
It's sort of. Do you think you see how dinosaurs were pretty much extinct over time?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Humans, the population, all of a sudden, there's like another pandemic on another pandemic. Humans eventually die out. Imagine what the world would do without humans in it.
Exactly, because
Who would have authority? Who would have like dominion
you think about the fact,
over
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, go on.
who's sort of like next in line to the
Because it,
sort of
because
chain?
it kind of went, kind of, because it. I think it's crazy to think about the fact that could dinosaurs, a prehistoric creature who had very little kind of brain power, they are they gonna actually have outlived humans? Because they were around for 175 million years until they went extinct. But
Yeah.
do you think would we be here today, or is that kind of is them dying out had the effect on us evolving as a species and allowing us to actually uh, be alive today? Could
Yeah. We probably potentially we could have adapted because of dinosaurs. Like we could have evolved the sense of being scared or something. Because
yeah,
apart from dinosaurs, there's
yeah,
obviously there's different animals which could make us feel threatened.
yeah,
Before that, we could have never experienced, like cavemen could have never experienced
yeah,
the sense of being scared or threatened.
mm,
Humans just evolved over time, like different emotions we feel over time. And
yeah,
imagine cavemen seeing a dinosaur.
yeah.
After,
Exactly, exactly.
do you think they would have like planned out their day? Because there's a big theory that cavemen, just predominantly ate just plants.
Yeah,
But our
exactly.
teeth, what they called canines,
Exactly. They
sharp like that.
that's where kind of have our teeth evolved because we essentially were not meant to eat meat, but over time it's kind of something that's consumed like half of our diet. So
Yeah,
have we evolved to? That's where kind of we've evolved to kind of have a omnivoric kind of diet. So half kind of
yeah.
half plant based, half
However, with that, you could counter that by saying
yeah.
gorillas, they have canines similar to humans,
Mm,
but their canines are
mm.
specifically used to threat other gorillas.
Threaten, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so, but because gorillas are just purely eat plants,
Yeah, I know, yeah, exactly.
but they have canines. So I think humans don't necessarily. This is my personal belief. Humans are not meant to naturally eat meat because we can survive off plants. We just choose to eat meat because we get all the
Yeah.
proteins we need out of beans and stuff.
Mm.
I think cavemen just purely ate like just trees, trees
Yeah.
and plants.
Yeah. Um exactly. So I'm gonna come back to another point here. Do you think that all major events in time that have occurred happen for a reason and that they happened to prevent something, either something more kind of they've so like the coronavirus happened to prevent something
Is it fate?
even more dangerous happening. Yeah, exactly.
Was it a blessing in disguise?
Exactly. Did it happen?
Are you a believer in everything happens for a reason, mate?
Uh yeah. I feel like
Do you think the
well
coronavirus happened
well
to prevent,
to
I don't know,
prevent
a
something
natural
even
disaster?
more extreme, exactly.
Yeah,
So but then there's the thing that if that if is that the case, because there's this argument of fine tuning, because the earth is so perfect, everything works so perfectly, all kind of organisms coexist so perfectly. There must be some god out there that has essentially made it this way, and there are some things that can't be explained. Some kind of like natural phenomenons that can't be explained in terms of science in scientific terms. Has there
yeah.
been an interference from by God uh, to make this happen? Um,
Is it all just character building?
mm. So is kind of is was this taught today and everything that else has happened programmed to happen? It's like
Yeah,
we didn't have a choice over it. We and then it's kind of like a series of chains. So
yeah,
when
yeah.
we want it to happen, it pops up in our head as kind of like a line of program, and then we have to carry that out. Um,
Maybe we needed this. God made this happen
yeah,
for the sake of like our future. We are predecessors
exactly.
for our future children who needed this sort of like fresh of breath air for the world.
I know it. I know the coronavirus has had a massive environmental impact on the world. Um,
Oh yeah, fully.
I know dolphins actually could be seen in the
Venice.
Venice.
Yeah.
I know you could actually see um, LA for the first time. Like you could bet if you lived in a hotel,
Yeah.
if you looked out your window, especially in kind of central LA, you could barely you could barely see anything.
Yeah. Additionally, the Himalayas could be seen from a specific point in India where they were just never seen before, which
Yeah,
is pretty cool as well.
I think
Uh,
that's huge.
yeah,
Yeah,
and personally, something that it's probably not true, but
yeah,
I went to a local park.
yeah.
I looked up. I've never seen the sky so perfectly blue and cloudless,
Yeah,
just so non like polluted.
yeah.
And I just took a breath for a moment. I was like,
Just breathe
wow.
some fresh air for once. Yeah. Um, it's insane, you know. I feel like I feel like it's kind of the thing we needed to
Yeah, and here's a
give the
topic
world a
for
breather.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would
Yeah.
uh will this affect how how society continues in the future?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
for example,
Yeah.
will we cut back on our gases, like the fossil fuels that we use to make this to pollute the earth, or will we like sort of learn from this and be like, wow, look how amazing this is becoming? Like dolphins are in Venice, the Venice like river is clean,
Yeah.
like all the other sort of like non televised or non like informed phenomenons that are happening,
Yeah.
will they be
Mm.
talked about, and will humans make a change, or will we just go back to the ways that we used to have?
Well, I think like especially after something that's impacted the world so heavily, it's I like we won't see anything like this in our lifetimes. I think.
Yeah,
So it's kind of a one off, but I think it'll definitely it's definitely left its mark on the world, and I think it'll take um, quite a while for people to kind of settle back into the real life and kind of accept the fact that we are now we're now out of the lockdown. Um,
yeah,
there's no pressure or stress that the coronavirus could further cause any kind of harm or damage, and um, I think we'll just have to wait and see. Really, it's all a matter of time.
yeah, bro.
And
Wait and see.
exactly, and how different nations around the world will take the lockdown. Because I know, was it in Sweden? They didn't go into lockdown. They took the kind of
Yep, fully,
immunization thing. So
bro. Even Russia.
I know, yeah,
Well, like just drink vodka and you'll be fine, mate.
and I know,
that just further impacts the stereotype that like Russians and like vodka.
exactly. And I know, wasn't it England? We were gonna do what Sweden did and just not actually go into a lockdown, rather just let the population get it, and then it'll be kind
Yeah,
of. But I think no, we ended up making the right decision. Um,
yeah.
as a country, which was
Big up
uh,
England.
you know, making the right decisions, even though it takes
Yeah.
even
And I mean, as
yeah
as much as everyone has different political views on Boris Johnson, no matter how much you disagree with him,
yeah
you have to show some respect for the amount
the
of
amount of
effort,
work he's
shift he's
done.
putting in.
I mean, he had corona.
So,
He had
yeah,
corona.
he had Corona.
Got
He's
through
had a
it.
child
Yeah.
all during this time.
Yeah.
Although obviously he's made some like bad decisions, but even
Yeah.
still, like the effort, you sort of just have to
Yeah.
like applaud it.
I don't believe anyone else could have done the same.
Yeah,
Could have done what he did. Like he has properly
yeah.
he has properly got us.
Even if you are like the most extreme communist, you sort of have to show some respect for the shift that Bojo's putting in.
No, he has done well. You have to hand it to. And all right, let's switch it up a bit. let's. I want to talk about kind of Xbox, PC, and PS4. Um,
All right, all right.
bit more on kind of our terms here. Um, you obviously, I know you have an Xbox. Do you think that obviously, this is huge? You got the PS5, Xbox, uh, Series X coming out.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely by the end of this year. Um, and I've seen the Series X is looking to be a lot more powerful and worthwhile than the PS5. Um,
Yeah.
I know,
However, the
yeah,
PS5 controller is fresh.
I know
No
that.
one can argue with that.
I know that's very true. Um, I know the
It's so futuristic, you know?
yeah. I think I've just read it's going to be um a late 2020 release, and I've just looked up. So the PS5 will retail for around $500. So
Ooh,
four
what's that?
470 quid, 460 quid, 450. It'll be around there.
Yeah.
Um, so
Is it
that's
worth it? Thoughts?
I know the I've been reading in the last few days that tested games on the PS5 compared to the PS4, the exact same games, and the quality, the smoothness, and kind of the overall gameplay is just a lot more outstanding in the PS5. Um,
Ooh, interesting.
I know there's going to be some individual games that are going to be
Yeah.
brought to the PS5. I know personally, I know I told you this before, but I would have preferred a PS4 in terms of the fact that the games that they release on there are,
Yeah.
in
Incomparable
my opinion,
to
compared to Xbox,
Xbox.
um, they're just they just look a lot more appealing, a lot more worthwhile, and
Hmm.
if I was to go back, I probably would have picked a
Yeah.
PS4 in hindsight, but I feel like the Series X, um I feel like it's gonna I feel like
Is
it's
it the
gonna
elite console or is PS5
yeah.
just gonna dominate?
Let me
Could this be the fall of Xbox?
let me I'm gonna read out to you some of the specs of. I'm just gonna compare them out here. So Series X, looking at around 400 to 450 pounds, compared to the PS5, 450 to £500. Um, so the CPU for the Xbox is a 3.8 gigahertz custom Zen CP2. Um, the
Right,
PS
I don't know any
PS5
console
PS5's
specs.
3.5 gigahertz.
All right.
Uh,
Would that be able? Would a Xbox Series X and a PS5 be capable to run 144
oh,
hertz?
this is interesting. So max output for the Xbox. Oh, so Xbox is looking to run 8K at 60 FPS or 4K at up to
Oh,
or 4K at up to 120 FPS, 120
all
hertz
right.
refresh rate, and then
That's similar to running Call of Duty on a mid-range PC.
and then the PS5 is looking at 8K at 120 hertz refresh rate.
Oh, that's a big dub. That is a big
Oh,
dub for a PS5.
this is quite interesting.
If I was to not have previously owned an Xbox, if I was just a fresh 10-year-old wanting to buy a console, I would go for the PS5, mate.
Yeah,
I'd save up all the money. I remember I saved up to get like an Xbox because predominantly because all my friends have Xbox, so in my year that's the main console. However, in years above, I think it's PS4.
Oh, so
It
look at
all
this. Yeah,
ranges.
look at this. So the Xbox Series X, meanwhile, is looking incredibly impressive on paper. It too is a custom AMD, using the same Zen 2 and RDNA 2 architecture of the PS5, making it 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X. Um, so basically, Series X is 4 times more powerful than the latest Xbox.
Yeah, I
It's
I
it's gonna
really
it's gonna be
wish.
hard because they're running
Yeah,
the exactly their specs are in comparison extremely similar to each other.
yeah.
Um,
I just wish that there was just one console.
yeah,
All the debate. However, in life, there's always just two of main things. So, for example, Adidas, Nike,
yeah,
McDonald's,
exactly.
KFC,
Yeah,
Xbox,
yeah,
PS4.
yeah.
What else? Like,
Um,
Apple and
Apple and like
Windows.
yeah, exactly. Um, and then there's a debate like with Apple and PC. Apple is more productivity, more kind of anyone who's trying to start music production, they'll always have an Apple Mac, Logic Pro, which is a Apple
Yeah,
based product. They'll always have that. But then, um,
gamer side.
game aside, it's always going to be PC, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
feel
Yeah,
like Apple is purely if you just want to work with a clean and minimal sort of
minimalistic. If you go
setup.
for minimalistic,
Yeah,
it's like hardly any wires. Like you'll have,
it's
it's
literally one wire.
yeah, exactly.
Whereas a PC can run so much more with so much power
Yeah,
for the same price as you would buy a MacBook.
yeah, exactly. MacBooks are
However,
artificially
with that being
expensive.
said,
Yeah,
there is the con of it being bulky.
yeah.
Unless you buy sort of, however, you can buy gaming laptops which are clean and minimal, quite thin.
That is true. What do you think? Do you think gaming laptops are worth it? Are they worth their 1,000 kind of £200
Nah,
price
bro.
tag?
If you're gonna splash out for a gamer sort of setup, however, there is the thing.
Yeah.
If you're getting a laptop, you're probably
The thing
gaming
is, if you're
laptop. You're
getting a
probably
gaming laptop, you're on the move. That means you're gaming
yeah,
on the
you
move.
are. So you may as well just buy a laptop if you're constantly on the
Yeah.
move. Like Ellis Gen, she has gaming laptop for when he goes on away games to play some video games.
Exactly. So
Do you know Luke Cowan-Dickey? Do you know
yeah,
he was #1 Call of Duty player, search and destroy for like a year?
actually,
Bro, search this up.
wait.
I was watching this Jack Noel podcast, and he was talking about how Luke Cowan-Dickey, he would go from training from 8 till about 3, and by the time Jack Noel left the field, Luke Cowan-Dickey was already showered in the car, going home, and then he would genuinely play from about 3 in the afternoon till 5 in the morning,
Oh jeez.
get 2 hours of rest, and
Yeah.
do
So
that on
look at
repeat.
this. Count Dickie reveals double life as one of the best COD players in the world. What?
How can you be an England player and #1 at Call of Duty? Obviously, he doesn't do that now because he's got a child and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
that life is insane. Uh,
That is insane. Imagine being like a national rugby player and then
Yeah, and being very good at it as well.
yeah,
And then going home to play COD until 5 in the morning, get 2 hours of rest, and do all the same again.
exactly. that's that's insane.
I can't even run off like 6 hours of sleep, let alone like.
Wait 6 hours. He only gets 6 hours of sleep.
No. I get like 9
All right. Yeah.
per day.
Yeah. So so with 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 the PC, do you think you should invest more on a powerful PC or get 2 or 3 very good monitors, but then your PC's kind of mediocre average?
Depends on what you use it for, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, That's a very very varied sort of like question in the fact that if you're purely working, the more monitors, the better. The more
Yeah.
tabs you can have
Yeah.
open on
That's true.
different screens. But it depends also on the look you're going for,
Mm.
the budget, how much the monitor
And
costs.
then there's an ultra wide. Then there's the ultra wide
Oh,
monitors.
ultra wides are sick. That they look
They're
so
very
cool.
sick. But then I think there's I think there's like the reviews. Some people, especially because it's like it's very wide. You like it can cover like your entire desk. It kind of curves around to the side of you, and like
Yeah,
in your peripheral vision.
gaming on like a 38 inch.
Gaming on it allows. I've seen reviews where people they kind of it makes them feel sick almost having such
Yeah,
a big monitor in their
the
face.
headaches.
Yeah, but I feel like especially with games that you need a big peripheral vision, a big peripheral vision which will allow you to see more, like Call of Duty, Fortnite, games that you need to look around, be aware of what's around you. Um,
I beg to differ, mate. I'm sorry.
what?
No, if you're playing on a massive widescreen TV
Yeah,
or monitor,
monitor.
it's gonna be so hectic. You have to move your like neck like constantly to see. Whereas if you're in front of like a 24-inch monitor, then it's just
No,
so much
but then if
easier.
your monitor's bigger, then you have to turn your mouse less. You don't even have you literally just have to like move it to the side slightly, and then you can just basically you've seen all around you 360 in just like that. And
You're a really high sense gamer, aren't you?
no, I am, yeah,
Bro, if you moved your like mouse from like the top of your mouse pad to the bottom, you'd be doing like a
yeah.
920.
Mate, I'll move it
You'd be
like,
off the map, mate.
mate, oh
I'm
no.
a low sense gamer myself.
You're a low sense, but then you like to just move it frantically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, personal
For the
preference.
ultimate control. But
um,
anyway, thoughts on this new Call of Duty Warzone?
Cold War Zone, I've been getting into it lately with the
Yeah,
boys,
yeah.
with you.
With the boys, with the boys.
Um,
I personally think it's a banger. It's hit the world by storm. Perfect
yeah,
timing. It could not have been better to
yeah,
release the
definitely.
Warzone.
Just with lockdown as it started.
Quarantine is a blessing for
Yeah,
video games
yeah.
and streamers. If you're a streamer, you're literally living the life because
You know
you live your
Vicstar.
yeah, bro. He's racking it in.
He's
No, raking it in. Sorry.
it is
Wait, what's the saying?
it is racking it in.
Oh right.
So
Yeah, 80,000 concurrent live viewers watching Warzone Wednesday.
that is
Him and
huge.
Wars are absolute beasts,
That's
mate.
huge for him. Um,
Yeah, and he's so entertaining to watch as well. Like
yeah.
whenever I watch him, I just want to play myself, and then I realize how bad I am.
Because the thing is, technically, he he isn't one of the best players. Technically,
No,
but then his
no,
game sense is just impeccable.
yeah,
I think
impeccable, mate,
that
to a T.
that's what makes him one of the best.
And his comms are on point.
Yes, that is very true. I think him and Wars,
Best
they are
duo.
like two peas in a pod. They just work together so well.
Yeah, mate, that he Vic's the butter to Wars' bread.
um, but
No. Wars is like the main player. Wars like Vic sort of just follows on, and like Vic is the yin to his yang. All right,
exactly,
that's
yeah,
fair.
there you
That's
go.
fair.
Isn't
Yeah,
isn't Wars on? Does any play on
PS4.
controller?
Yeah. That's the thing with Call of Duty. It's just so inclusive.
Yeah,
From because you see with Fortnite back in the day,
yeah.
PC players had an insane advantage over console players.
Yeah.
You know, with that's the same with most games. However, that's what is so good about Call of Duty, Warzone. It doesn't necessarily matter if you
Exactly.
PC player or
And that's what I think. That's where it kind of is that level above Fortnite in the sense that
yeah,
with Fortnite it actually if you're Fortnite if you actually have to be like really good, you have to play it a lot to actually be one of the best. And then if you're not so good, then that's just tough luck.
yeah,
You're just gonna end up just not really getting the most out of the game. But then with Warzone,
yeah.
um, it it gives you the
The
freedom.
skill gap is incomparable to Fortnite. I
Yeah,
remember watching the fall
Yeah.
of Ninja. Do you remember?
Yeah.
He was the GOAT at
Yeah.
Fortnite
Yeah.
for a solid 6 months.
I
His
think from
career
from
was
season
booming.
season 1 to kind of season 4 or 5, that was
Yeah,
prime time for him.
that they were the big bucks days where he was like the main guy, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
a new kid on the block, Tifu. He's really
Tifu.
good. He kills Ninja in a public
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
and then ever since then, it's just
Yeah.
every single like sort of
Mm.
streamer, YouTuber just gets better and better to the
Mm.
point where the viewers become really, really good as well. And then Fortnite just from then on, it's just not the same. So many sweats, like a public game, which is why I quit like 5 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
The public game, or not even that, ages ago. Public games are just so sweaty.
Exactly. You
Kids
can't.
are cranking for
Yeah.
days,
You can't like.
and I was one of them as well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
watched
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
everyone was
No.
because you don't want to lose. You want
Everyone
it to
was
be the
back.
best.
Everyone
Everyone wants to
back in the
be
day.
the best,
But I think
especially with
yeah.
these cash cups and stuff.
Yeah. That's
Like
true.
you could earn some serious money if you just banged out for like 12 hours a day
If it
and
was
had
the
some
only
talent.
game you played, yeah, and you
Yeah,
actually put time into it, you invested money in it. Um,
yeah. Like look
you
at
can just
Booga.
go
He
on
won
the
like
best.
30 million from
Yeah,
a Fortnite World Cup. That's more than like a businessman in his lifetime.
exactly. And
An
he's what?
average, yeah,
And he's only like what 17, 16?
16,
Yeah,
bro.
it's huge.
Gaming is insane. The money involved within
Yeah,
the whole like industry is just it's
and
crazy.
I think this is where no, I think Fortnite. I think they've when they came into play in late 2017. Um, I think it took kind of the gaming community by storm, and I think back in 2018, 2019, that's when you and your mates, like anyone you asked, they played Fortnite, and
Yeah, everyone, even adults as well.
exactly
And that was a big factor of why it was so successful. It included everyone.
it got
See,
yeah
where with Warzone,
yeah
you won't get 7-year-olds like
no
on their
Warzone
Nintendo Switch playing.
exactly
uh,
so
yeah.
and then
Also, I feel
yeah
like sort of esports in general just
mm,
doesn't get enough respect. Like
yeah
you don't from the average over 30s point of view,
yeah
they just think, oh, they play games all day, don't do anything, but they don't understand the concentration, the
yeah
commitment,
it's
the
true
desire that you
yeah
need to be a successful esports gamer
exactly
and
yeah
earn loads of money.
because they've actually invested their time, their money into professionally playing games for a career for their living. So and
Yeah.
I
And
think
it's the way that they practice and like the physicality that defines an actual sport, which is
yeah
why esports in general is just frowned upon from the average person's
yeah
sort of perspective.
exactly. It's not really seen as like an actual career.
It's like taxing on the mind
Yeah
and body,
yeah
but not in the same way that sports are, if that makes sense.
yeah. But I feel like YouTube, like what you see with all these YouTubers like KSI, they make you can make a living off of YouTube easily. You
Bro,
know, it's
is
like
that even a question, mate?
it's insane how much money
I
YouTubers
know.
make off
Yeah,
off of their views these days. It's
but anyway, bro,
yeah
I think we should wrap it up here.
yeah. This has been mate. This has been you're the first one on.
Thank you. I'm pretty certain no one's gonna have sat here, Isaac, the whole time and just watched
Listen, if
two
you
random 14-year-olds waffle on about stuff which they don't even know that much about.
if you've made it this far, I'll give you a tenner. So just DM me.
No, if you've made it this far, then probably comment something like, I don't know, I made it this far.
Yeah, yeah,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's all good, bro. Don't worry.
It's all good.